You are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing to you daily health and information, where daily health is viewed as an ever-changing reality. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host unless otherwise noted. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. No information on this site should be used to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any disease or condition. Listeners are to make their own health decisions after consulting with their healthcare provider. This is your daily health. Welcome and good morning. You are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. This is Let's Talk Daily Health. Now, we know this month is Mental Health Awareness. So, in honor of that, today we will be talking about mental health and its recovery. Now, we know people deal with things in so many different ways. Some things work for some, they may not work for others. But I just like to give you a little info on it, and hopefully it can help someone out. And this includes essential ingredients for recovery as well as some health tips. Now, when it comes to mental health, it's a challenge. It can be a challenge. And it's something that you go through, and it's sort of a lifelong challenge, if you will. But here are the mental health recovery key components. And this is all a part of the process because it is a process. Finding and maintaining hope. That's a really good one because it's really difficult at times when you're possibly on a mental roller coaster, or just plain life's roller coaster, because life can deal you a hand, and when you have mental illness, it can make coping with what you go through much harder. So finding and maintaining hope is a really good one. It's believing in yourself and having a sense of personal agency, if you will. It's feeling optimistic about the future. And it's really one of those things that can really help. Because if you're looking all down at the future, there's no hope, you can't find the silver lining in it, it'll make that battle much worse. And we all want you to live a very happy and healthy life and lifestyle. So try to find and maintain hope in life, whether it's you or you're caring for someone else. Being optimistic is it's really a good thing. Now, the reestablishment of a positive identity. We go through so much and we change. And even with mental disorders, you definitely change. It has its ups and its downs, but finding a new identity which kind of incorporates illness, but it maintains at its core, a positive sense of self. So find the good within yourself, the things that you're good at, and kind of hold those close and dear to your heart. That's a pretty big one, actually. It can help in the long run. Now, as I stated before, finding meaning in life, that's huge. It's making sense of illness. It's finding a new meaning in life, and despite illness, finding a hobby, picking up a new one, taking a walk, reading books, accepting what is, and you're here for a reason. So it's finding that reason, finding that that reason to live, to go on. It's finding that motivation. You're here for your children. You're here for your husband or your wife. Just finding so many reasons and meaning in life despite illness. And it's very helpful to do so. It can help you get through some of those rocky days. Every day is not going to be perfect. So finding a new meaning in life is going to actually help a lot. Now, also taking responsibility for your life. Feeling in control of illness and life. Because we know when we feel like we can't control anything, it's frustrating, it could be irritating, and you just want to, some people want to throw in the towel. And you don't want to do that. So take responsibility. That's a really big step. You get ahead of your illness if possible, seeking therapy, talking to, loved ones and friends that you trust, that, won't put your business out there. It's talking to a psychiatrist. It's taking medication. And it's just trying to keep those things lined up. Don't forget to take your meds. Try not to miss any appointments. And feeling free to speak and talk to someone about what you're going through. And that's all a part of taking responsibility for your life. Now, what are the essential ingredients for recovery? Well, there's acceptance. And it's the first step, really. And it can be difficult, but it is possible. Acceptance of the diagnosis by the ill relative, family, and friends is essential for the process of recovery to begin, whether it's you or someone else. Acceptance is more likely to result in early intervention. It can be a preventive measure before things get out of control. There's early intervention. Early intervention and early use of new medications lead to better medical outcomes for the individual. The earlier you or your relative is diagnosed and stabilized with treatment, the better the long-term prognosis. Because we all want to live a long, healthy, happy life. And the next one is the adherence to treatment. Medication and therapy greatly aids in recovery. Although the benefit may not be completely obvious at first, it takes a little time. So following a treatment plan will greatly improve your illness or your ill relative as mental health. We gotta make the effort. So if we can get on a treatment plan and stick with it. And a lot of people do need support when dealing with it, because when you have mental illness, there are going to be days that you just don't feel like taking medication. You don't feel like talking to nobody. You don't feel like dealing with nobody. So when you have a really good support system, it really helps out, and it does aid in the treatment and recovery process. Now, next is empowerment. That's definitely a biggie. Recovery is aided when people are given the support and education to make their own decisions and to exercise their right to try. That empowerment. It's like as a guy, you go get that fresh haircut, you go wash your car, you're happy, you have a sense of pride, your head is lifted up, and you go on about your day. Just like with ladies, we feel better when we go get our hair done, or we get a new outfit, we dress the kids up, do their hair, and go out and about and go on a walk at the park or something. Whatever you like to do to boost your mood, it's all empowerment. Now, there's also a holistic approach, because everybody's different. Some really don't like taking medication. They feel like it's just, chemicals and it is man-made, which is true. So you got to kind of weigh the risk and benefits on that. But for those who rather go about the holistic approach, recovery encompasses the varied aspects of an individual life, including housing, employment, education, recreation, mental health, and healthcare services, as well as addictions treatment, spiritual creativity, social networks, and community participation. That's like group and all sorts of things. And those are things you can kind of do your research. You can Google, you can research, and just do a little digging for yourself, whether it's for you or someone else. There's also strength-based approaches. Recovery focuses on validating and building upon the strengths as well as the capabilities, coping skills, of course, resiliency, and inherent worth of individuals. Now, this does involve a constant awareness that you are not your illness. You are fantastic. You're gifted, you're talented. It's just staying up on your mental health. You are not your illness. You are more than your illness. And you are worth the effort. You're an awesome person, and you have to keep in mind that someone loves you, someone needs you, someone looks up to you. So don't throw in the towel. It can be a little work, but you've got this. You can do this. You definitely can do this. Now, mental health is one of those things that it should stay on the forefront of the mind, because with the billions of people we have in this world, it does strike. It does strike. It could be hereditary. It could just be, chemical imbalancement, and that can come from not just inheriting it. It can be your surroundings and the atmosphere. I mean, there's pollution and so many other things that contribute to what we breathe in and take in and our food and so many other things like that. So it's very important, and make sure you pat yourself on the back, especially if you're the one with the mental illness. It's always great to give yourself credit for what you have accomplished when it comes to your mental health awareness. And if you have not started at all, please go seek help. There is nothing wrong with it. Regardless of, what anyone may say negative about mental health or psychiatrist or therapist, whatever their opinion is, don't worry about that. Go get the help you need. And there will be some people who will support you on that. Now, for your health tips, remember these things. Value healthy independence, and that's very important, because when you lose independence, it kind of takes away from that empowerment, as well as, the strength that you have to go on. Aim for recovery. Don't throw in the towel. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. And also, remember, maintain hope. Never give up on it. It is a lifelong battle, but remember, you're not your illness. And if you're caring for someone, keep in mind as well for them, they are not their illness. It's a disease or disorder, just like any other disease or disorder. And there are some things that they just cannot help. So they need the help, support them, love them unconditionally. Good and bad days. Don't change up on them, because people with mental disorders need that love, support, and that commitment to continue on to try to have a normal life. So, You guys, if you are listening on YouTube, comment, let me know. If you're listening on any of the podcast sites, thank you for tuning in and taking the time. And I appreciate you all for your support. And make sure you share, like, follow. The name over at YouTube is Tony on One. And as well as some of the social media, like Instagram and Twitter. And On One Radio also has a new Instagram. So check it out, follow. And I will be posting some of what I said on WordPress as well. So if you're following, you'll get all these different tips and health information. And it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So take care of yourself and your loved ones, family, friends, everyone. Until next time. You have been listening to Daily Health, brought to you by On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, where daily health is viewed as an ever-changing reality. For more, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, WordPress, as well as YouTube. The name over there is Tony on One. Podcasts are also available on your favorite podcast site.